the day tank fuel oil transfer pump. Okay, we're down here on the lower level, port side, all the way aft. The suction valve from 4, TAC 116, TAC 0, TAC F, my rising stem gate valve. I've already opened it up. I've already opened up the suction valve for the transfer pump, which is on the upper level. So I'm taking a suction from 4, TAC 116, TAC 0, TAC F, and I'm going to be filling the EDG day tank. The day tank fuel transfer pump is motor driven. Electric motor, positive displacement, rotary gear pump. There happens to be a mechanical seal which is not visible from this angle. This is the suction side. This is the discharge side. You'll notice there's a check valve here on the discharge side. Direct and flow in that direction only, so we don't get backflow. Here's my discharge valve, which I've already opened. The suction piping is already lined up. Motor controller right here, 2 TAC 116 TAC 2. Start button. That's what it sounds like. You follow the discharge piping from the pump, it'll come here to an intersection. I've got one direction I can go here to the day tank for the bow thruster. That valve's currently closed. I've got another valve here that goes to the day tank for the EDG, which is currently open, because we're going to transfer fuel to the EDG day tank. Now we're up here in the 3 space. Following the discharge piping, my next component is going to be the fill valve for the EDG day tank. So I'm going to open this valve up, and then we'll go over to the tank. At the top of the tank, you can see the fill piping with the down arrow, the return piping with the up arrow, and on the right there, that big gray pipe is the tank vent, which goes out to the weather deck by the cliff shack. At the bottom of the tank, there's just 2 valves. Little gate valve on your right for the EDG supply, and a gravity nozzle valve on your left, so we can fill portable cans with the gravity nozzle. Another fitting you'll notice on the day tank is the sight glass. Right now I'm going to start the transfer pump and fill this day tank while observing the sight glass, and I'm going to take it all the way up to the zip tie right here. That still leaves me about 6 to 8 inches of headspace inside the tank. There's really no reason to fill the tank to the top. So now that everybody's in place, I can go ahead and start my fuel oil transfer pump. That's a normal sound. Little rotary gear pump. Moving fuel up to the day tank. Transfer pump's been started, so the term I like to use is commence fuel oil transfer. Once I get to the top of the sight glass there, or actually the zip tie, we're going to cease pumping. Cease pumping. Anytime I'm transferring fuel, if I don't like what's going on or if I don't feel comfortable, I'm just going to cease pumping until I feel comfortable.
Now once I've got the word to cease pumping, I'll stop the pump, and then I'll go back and secure the valve line up.
So I've reached the level I wanted, I've ceased pumping, and I'm just going to secure all the valves that I opened.
So let's look at the day tank transfer system on board Ironwood. On the left-hand side of the screen, what you'll see is your centerline fuel tank, 4 TAC 116, TAC 0, TAC F. We got 4 TAC 116, TAC 1F, and then 4 TAC 116, TAC 2F. These are towards the aft portion of the vessel. All the way forward, we've got the bow thruster day tank. And midship, we got the EDG day tank. We've got a fuel transfer pump, motor-driven, positive displacement rotary gear pump. Prior to the pump, we've got a simplex strainer and the associated pipings and valves. So two valves that are always going to be open is this common suction valve for all the engine room supply equipment. So 3, TAC 115, TAC 1, that valve is always open because it supplies fuel to everything that's in the engine room. The main engines, the SSDGs, and the boilers. Another valve that's always open is 2 TAC 116 TAC 2. That is the fuel return valve back to the tank on suction. So all the equipment in the engine room ties into the fuel return system, including the bow thruster day tank and the EDG day tank. So on the return system from, let's say, the EDG day tank, there's a check valve, and it ties into the fuel return system and goes back to the tank on suction. From the bow thruster day tank, we have to physically open a valve, and then there's a check valve. So once that valve's open, fuel can return back to the fuel return system. Now on the main engines, SSDGs, and boilers, there is part of that return system as well, but that's not part of this transfer system that we're talking about. So the valve lineup to fill the EDG day tank is pretty simple. Once again, these two valves are always open. We've got to open the suction valve for the centerline fuel tank, which is 3 TAC 114 TAC 4. Then the pump suction valve, which is on the lower level, right next to 3 TAC 114 TAC 4. We've got 3 TAC 114 TAC 2. Then up to the upper level, the next component is the simplex strainer, one basket, so it's a simplex strainer. Otherwise, it'd have two baskets and be a duplex strainer. Now, fuel is available at the positive displacement rotary gear pump. On the discharge side of the positive displacement rotary gear pump, we've got a swing check valve. On the discharge side of the pump, we open 3 TAC 115 TAC 2. Then up in the overhead, we open 3 TAC 111 TAC 2. Then we have to move up to the 3 space. Just above the emergency diesel generator, I should say, is 1 TAC 114 TAC 3. We open that valve, and that allows fuel to go from 4 TAC 116 TAC 0 TAC F to the EDG day tank. So on the day tank, there is a sight glass. Now we'll pump the day tank up to almost the top of the sight glass, which leaves us a few inches of headspace. We don't want to fill the day tank 100% and exercise this fuel return system that's lined up here. So that's how you transfer fuel from 4 TAC 116 TAC 0 TAC F to the EDG day tank. Now let's move on and transfer fuel to the bow thruster day tank. Once again, two valves, always open. Open in 3 TAC 114 TAC 4. and 3 TAC 114 TAC 2, duplex strainer, pump, swing check valve, discharge valve. But now, in the overhead in the engine room, we open 2 TAC 111 TAC 4, not 111 TAC 2, because we're not going to the bow thruster. We're not going to the EDG day tank. We're going to the bow thruster. So 2 TAC 111 TAC 4, we open that up, so it's in the overhead in the engine room there. And then we have to go all the way up to number 1 hole and open up the fill valve for the bow thruster day tank, which is 2 TAC 29 TAC 4. And we open up 2 TAC 30 TAC 2 just in case the bow thruster day tank gets a little bit overfilled and that fuel will spill out through, go past the swing check valve all the way back to the engine room and end up back in the 4 TAC 116 TAC 0 TAC F. Now on the bow thruster day tank, there's a little liquid level indicator on top, and we maintain the liquid level between 1/2 and 3/4. So once we're in that range, we can cease pumping, we can stop the gear pump, and secure all of our valves. So we'll end up at the end of the day, after a fuel transfer to either one of those 2 day tanks, these valves will remain in the open position, but all the other valves that we opened in order to transfer fuel either to the EDG day tank or to the bow thruster day tank, we will close those valves and make the appropriate log entries.